Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Yes. So, tonight is Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. This is episode 517 of The Daily Dope. Not too shabby, eh? So, if this is your first time joining me, let me point out it's very, very casual. We just kind of kick it and talk tabletop gaming news for the most part. It is certainly nowhere near being anything like rocket surgery. So, just kind of hanging out, having some fun, talking about what the latest tabletop gaming news is. I'm going to move that mic a little bit closer. Anyway, I do want to mention, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little notification bell. It will not only let you know when the Daily Dope streams live Monday through Thursday nights right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos as well, such as my recent review of Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion from Avalon Hill. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, since this is a live stream, that also means there is chat available. The chat's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, but I do my best to pay attention to chat. So if you want to say howdy, or maybe you have a question or comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. So for tonight, we've got John Vogel, Flaming Huron, and the Madman are hanging out in chat with us so far. So today happens to be my dad's 84th birthday. So I got down here to start getting ready for the show about 15 minutes ago. So I think I've got everything set up. I think I do. I think I got everything set up okay. We're going to find out. But anyway, big happy birthday to my dad. Like I said, yes, it is his 84th today. Pretty wild. And thank you, Madman. I will forward on the happy birthday wishes to my dad. Anyway, so pretty cool deal. I made dinner. My brother came by, so I guess he and his wife and their daughter were camping. He's not super into camping, so I guess he left. They stayed, and he swung by here and had dinner with us. So he just took off a little while ago too. So pretty cool. Thank you, Flaming Huron, for the well wishes to my dad. But anyway, so I got some news, not a ton of news tonight. Not the usual number of news pieces, but it's going to be kind of short. That's okay. So let's jump on in, because hitting stores like right now is Imperial Settlers: Rise of an Empire from Portal Games. Here's the dope. Portal Games announces retail of the highly anticipated expansion to Imperial Settlers: Rise of the Empire by Joanna Kajanka. Taking a guess? Maybe? Maybe that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Keep in mind, Portal Games is out of Poland. They don't always have the best English language translations to their press releases. So this one's okay. I mean, I still remember the live, I shouldn't say live, the podcast that Elliot Miller and I used to do for the Gaming Gang. And there was a news piece for Robinson Crusoe that was just insane. Anyway, this expansion includes a brand new game mode, the Open World Campaign, where players strive to quickly go through all the eras from ancient to modern, selling in our US store and in good board game stores in Europe. So it is available for order at the US Portal Games website, which that is the link that I am sharing. It's the web address that I'm sharing right now. Playing in the open world means that you don't always have to play with the same group of players. Moreover, your empires can be located in different eras during the game. Playing in the open world is just like history. New empires rose and developed through ages, while the others were already thriving. The campaign introduces new cards representing newly settled provinces, new inventions, and quests that provide growth. Players' empires develop militarily, economically, and culturally. Players move on the progress tracks of their sheets. Achieving certain progress levels unlock bonuses, and victory points indicate the number of knowledge points, which can be traded for invention cards after every game. English, Jeff, read the English. Okay, so what's going on here is, as I'm reading this, I'm seeing how poorly structured it is, and I'm trying to fix it on the fly as I read it. Anyway, if players can't do it, they lose. So if you don't have knowledge points to trade in for invention cards, I guess you lose. Inventions represent the progress of the empire in different fields and provide additional features. I thought you're only buying them at the end of the game. I didn't know. I got to be honest. I've never played Imperial Settlers. Imperial Settlers Rise of the Empire is for 1 to 4 players, ages 10 and up, plays around 45 to 90 minutes, does carry an MSRP of $40. Keep in mind, this is an expansion. This is not a standalone game. So as I mentioned, I have, you know what? I got to be honest. I think I've only played a couple of Portal games. And I haven't played any of them since I lived since I lived in Arizona was the last time I actually did a review for a game from Portal. I don't know why either, because they've followed me forever. So I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. I'm peeking around here because Pinky is hanging around here. She's kind of quiet right now, but making sure she doesn't get into trouble. Moving right along, arriving in September from Osprey Games is Village Green. Here's the dope. It's the first day of spring, and there's only one thing on everyone's mind. No, it's not love. It's the Village Green of the Year competition. In just a few months, the judges of this prestigious contest will be visiting, and the Village Council have already put you, yes, you, in charge of the preparations. With your newfound authority, you could show those snobs from Lower Ainsmore just what a properly orchestrated floral arrangement looks like. Damn you, Lower Ainsmore! In Village Green, you are rival gardeners tasked by your respective communities with arranging flowers, planting trees, commissioning statues, and building ponds. You must place each element carefully, as time is tight and the stakes couldn't be higher. Split your days between acquiring and installing new features for your green and nominating it for one of the competition's many awards. Will your village green become the local laughingstock or make the neighboring villages green with envy? Village Green is for 1 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 30 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $21 when it arrives September 17th. I wish there was more I could share of this. So there's like this spread for Village Green, and they've got, you know, like the gardening gloves and stuff sitting there. And then right down at the bottom of the image is like a fan of cards, and it's cut off. You can't even see what the cards look like. It's like, okay, so these are the only 2 images that Osprey is sharing right now. Let's move on to some role-playing game news because the newest bundle of holding has arrived. It's packed with old school Renaissance role-playing game goodness. Here's the dope on the old school gold bundle. Adventura. This old school gold bundle presents top-selling tabletop role-playing rulebooks, campaign settings, and scenarios that celebrate and build on the old school revival, I prefer Renaissance, spirit of tabletop role-playing's earliest days. This all-new collection of standout OSR ebooks ranges from haunted deserts to the edge of known space and includes major recent releases like Mothership and the ENnie-nominated Trilemma Adventures Compendium. For just $9.95, you get all 4 rulebooks and settings in the starter collection, which have a retail value of $37.50 as DRM free PDFs, including the big 235-page class compendium from Barrel Writer Press with more than 50 variant character classes, the science fiction RPG of exploration in alien ruins beyond the frontier, Golgotha, Cinderheim, a setting sourcebook of a demon-ridden desert wasteland, and Hydra Cooperative's melee-themed sandbox module about a hungry crocodile, Lorne's Song of the Bachelor. Do not know where that title came from, although I have to admit, I was taking a peek at, well, I didn't get to see the PDF itself. Just kind of taking a peek at some information about the Lorne Song of the Bachelor, and it looks pretty interesting. So there, stop making fun of it, Jeff. Crying out loud. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $20.02, which I do point out, these threshold prices do change. I do believe they go up with more sales, but they don't go up a bunch. So I might be off a few cents here or there when I tell you if you pay more than the threshold price of $20.02, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 7 more titles worth an additional $44.50, including 3 titles in the new horror science fiction role-playing game series from Tuesday Night Games, Mothership. Everybody loves Mothership. The adventure modules, Dead Planet and A Pound of Flesh, plus the Mothership Player's Survival Guide rulebook, which I had got to be honest, it's usually free. the Player's Survival Guide. It's either free or it's pay what you want, one of the two. Also includes the impressively illustrated Trilemma Adventures Compendium of 55 short scenarios, the grimdark standalone RPG of anti-heroic mercenaries for coin and blood from Gallant Knight Games. I gotta be honest, that kind of threw me for a loop a little bit because Gallant Knight is like the tiny D6 system, and they tend to be more kind of upbeat, almost kind of, I don't want to say family oriented, but family friendly role-playing game. So kind of surprised to see a grim, dark, standalone RPG of anti-heroic mercenaries. Also included in the bonus is 3 short supplements for Golgotha, the Obsidian Garden, the War Hive, and new player character classes. These savings will run through August 9th. 10% of your payment after payment gateway fees will be donated to this offer's pandemic-related charity, Heart to Heart International. Nice. So a Grade A has popped into chat. Good to see you, Grade A. So Grade A has to wish my dad a happy birthday before we can continue. Joking. Just joking, because he's a little late showing up. So a Grade A loves Mothership. Like I said, I have heard a lot of people really dig it. I haven't had time to take a peek at it. I just have, well, here's the thing that I kind of look at when I am, when I hear good stuff about it, like role-playing game. I have to kind of think to myself, okay, so what physical items do I have that need like reviews? Yes, I have reviewed this already, but what kind of stuff do I have sitting here physically that I need to review, that I need to read through, as opposed to, oh, I heard really good things about this game. I should get the PDF and check it out. This always wins out. But yes, I have heard really good things about Mothership. Yes, there is a solo Mothership module that's out now. I want to say we did a news piece about it last week. I know, because I know there is the new, I can't remember the name of it though, because if I remember right, it's not from Tuesday Night Games. Anyway, this is actually a pretty cool bundle of holding. I especially like the fact that it's got Golgotha, which is another science fiction role-playing game that I've heard some good things about. And of course, Mothership. Can't complain about that. And of course, Trilemma Adventures has been nominated for an Emmy. So they don't usually nominate crap for an Emmy. Now, sometimes I may not necessarily agree with the winners, but got some good stuff there. And basically, you're topping out at $20.02. All right, my next news piece. Call Cthulhu, Cthulhu Dark Ages is now hitting stores in hardcover this week. Here's the dope from Chaosium. Cthulhu Dark Ages is a world lit only by fire. The ancient empires collapsed centuries ago, taking their culture and learning with them. It's a dark world, thus, being known as the Dark Ages. And people are right to be afraid of the dark. Apart from the Viking raiders, witches, and outlaws, there are the unquiet dead, ancient horrors, and other malevolent beings stalking the countryside. Dark entities beyond good and evil wait hidden in the recesses of time and the angles of space. A few brave souls try their best to resist the horrors and push them back from whence they came. Will you be one of them? With the 3rd edition, Cthulhu Dark Ages has been updated for Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. A lot of edition numbers were floating around out there. Completely revised and includes a wealth of new setting material. Inside, you'll find a player's guide to the Dark Ages, an optional sanity mechanic for mirroring the medieval mindset, rules for the oral tradition of storytelling and mounted combat, a grimoire of Dark Age spells, plus optional rules for folk magic, a bestiary of monsters, as well as a fully detailed setting, the Anglo-Saxon community of Tabletop in England's Severn Valley, full of interesting characters, dwelling descriptions, and a multitude of plot hooks for keepers to use and develop. How do we know he's the king? See who's going to jump in on that one. This new 3rd edition comes in hardback and full color with additional material concerning poetry and kennings, the written word, using the oral tradition in games, amulets, further use of sanity in the setting, paganism, and Norse paganism. Chapters include the introduction and forward, Anglo-Saxon England, A to Z of the Dark Ages, Dark Age investigators, the game system itself, investigative horror in the Dark Ages, the Cthulhu mythos in the Dark Ages, the bestiary, the community of Tatbuch, scenarios, and 3 ready-to-play scenarios, which include ways to introduce players to the world of Cthulhu Dark Ages, building on the tensions, characters, and horrors lurking in Tobach and the land surrounding the community. Includes The Hunt, wherein a terrifying wolf is troubling the community of Tatbuch that must be dealt with. This short adventure provides the perfect introduction to the Dark Ages setting. Then there's the Doom that came to Wessex. All is not well at the monastery of Swithern, with an attack leaving some of the monks dead or injured. Something foul is afoot, threatening the very sanctity of the monastery. And there's Esoeld. Oswin, the Thane of Tatbuch, is concerned about the disappearance of his son, sent on a diplomatic mission to calm tension with a neighboring community, who seems to have vanished without a trace in the dark, foreboding Esoeld forest. The book is rounded out with a comprehensive appendices containing a Dark Ages glossary of historical terms, a timeline covering 950 to 1054 CE, a who's who of notable historical people, kings and popes, and a bibliography of texts and sources of inspiration. Throughout, there's advice and guidance on running adventures and presenting the world of the Dark Ages. This 270-page Cthulhu Dark Age is available in hardcover for $44. Did I say Dark Age? Dark Ages, plural. It's available in hardcover for $44.99 or in PDF at DriveThruRPG for $21.99. Sweet. Very cool. I have reached out to my Chaosium connection. I know that's kind of weird, right? To see about maybe doing some more reviews of Chaosium stuff. So I would love to review Massive Nyarlathotep because I have not dug into this newest edition. And having run it originally from the 1-inch box when it first came out, I'm very, very keen to find out what kind of changes they've made to it. Also asked, maybe review this, maybe the Berlin book. So one thing I do have to point out is that, like for an example, like the Call of Cthulhu Keeper rulebook review, not a ton of views, but part of the problem is this is 5 years old. So there aren't a ton of people looking around for, oh, hey, let's check out a new review of the Keeper rulebook. So, but we'll see what happens. I think they liked the reviews. They quoted me when they retweeted my review of this. So, all right. So, A Great A says, well, I can order the book. Well, I know I can order. I know I can order Mothership. I can order anything I want. Gotta remember, there's no budget. There is zero budget here, folks. Jeez. That's why, well, okay, every once in a while I do order a game here or there, but I have so much like role-playing game stuff that I can cover. I don't need to be ordering things. So Flaming Heron says that they are picking up a few PDFs this week. If it's not from Bundle of Holding, Humble Bundle, and Drive-Thru RPG. Good. Oh, I guess it's all coming from those. Good times. Very cool. So A Great A says, I forgot to mention Dark Ages is a time era setting for C of C. A Great A said, not I forgot to mention. So Chaosium needs to do something like Sumerian or Babylonian biblical times. Isn't there something like that in the Miskatonic repository? I could have sworn there was. So I don't know. I don't know. Well, of course there's the Roman, ancient Rome, but I think that's focusing on Rome. But yeah, that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? Like Babylonian Lovecraftian stories. Ooh. Pretty cool. All right, let's move on to my last news piece. Because available in PDF from Geist Hack Games is Remote Control. Here's the dope. Jack in, take control. So you need a drone or a bot fast? Then you've come to the right place. We've got fast and dirty drones for all occasions. Whether it walks or crawls, flies or swims, we've got the very best and streamlined components for you to build your newest and craziest autonomous buddy lightning fast. Then take a stroll around our machine shop and marvel at the 12 comprehensive and highly detailed production lines available to enable the smooth manufacture of unique, interesting drones, remotes, and robots. Trick them out with jump jets, or not even the sky is the limit. Heavily armed and with free will? Yes, you can. Finally, go window shopping in the Drone Depot, where you will find 10 examples of the kinds of drones and remotes that can be generated with the resources found within this book. Remember, you scratch it, you pay for it. And as all our remotes are stat-free, you can build them for any reputable game system. Remote Control is an extremely comprehensive 34-page procedural drone remote and bot generator. Lots and lots of tables for any science fiction and cyberpunk role-playing game. Written by Venerable Views from the Edge luminary. I am not even going to attempt to pronounce this gentleman's name. With design and layout by Paul D. Gallagher, with proceeds going to the International Committee of the Red Cross. Pretty cool. It's system agnostic, suitable for any cyberpunk or near future sci-fi role-playing system. The 34-page PDF of Remote Control is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $6. For $6. $6 make you holla. So this looked kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I only have the cover to share with you. But all proceeds are being donated to the International Committee of the Red Cross. So you got to like that. All right, so that is it for tonight's news. As I mentioned, pretty quick news pieces, not like yesterday when we were going through 6 of the 10 items that Paizo is releasing for Pathfinder and Starfinder next month. It was like, one of these days I'll have to clock it and see how long those take. That's got to be about 10 minutes. It's got to be about 10 minutes. And it would have been almost twice as long if I had included the information about the Pathfinder Society adventures that they were providing as well. So anyway, other than that, nothing's really cooking. So a Grade A is asking, any reviews coming up? Yes, I do have reviews coming up. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Of course I'll tell you. I'm going to review the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay Game Master screen, which comes with a book. That's mainly what we're really going to do the review of. Is I think it's 32 pages. There's a little 32-page book in here. But I have heard that this Game Master screen is really high quality. So I have not cracked it open. I have not. So I am going to try to read through this either tonight or tomorrow. Later on in the week, I will have my review of the Pathfinder Game Mastery Guide. So I will have that. I'll do a page through as well. I figure since this has been out for a bit, I wasn't going to do 2 videos. I wasn't going to do a first look and then a review. I figure I'll just do one. I'll do the review. And the next couple of days, you'll see the alpha. So my review of the alpha as well. There's some other stuff floating around. I got to be honest, with the pandemic, it has been it's been really tough to try to get together to play some games in that. So, hell, I mean, I hadn't even talked to my best friend Elliot up until like last Friday. I hadn't talked to him in over 3 weeks. Normally we talk like once or twice a week. So, and of course he's like, no, I can't go anywhere and play any games. So, and I don't blame him because he's one of those at-risk folks. So, anyway, so Flaming Huron says, yeah, well, Paizo can't do anything by halves. No, they can't. They always have loads of stuff coming out like every month. When I see there's like 5 items coming out, I think, what's going on, Paizo? You guys are kind of, sleep at the wheel. What's up? See, so that's one thing I always have to say. So, because, like, for an example, and one of these days, I swear, I am going to shoot a video talking about 5th edition D&D, Pathfinder, other games out there. What's the best fit for the type of gamer that you might be, or type of gamers that you might be running the game for. But, once again, I say it all the time. I don't have a dog in the fight. So I can easily review Warhammer stuff, and then Pathfinder and D&D and Free League publishing stuff. So it doesn't matter, right? I mean, it's like I'm not a fanboy of any particular company, but I gotta say, I love the fact that if you run Pathfinder and you have a weekly group, or even Starfighter. If you run either one of those games and you've got a weekly group that gets together pretty religiously, right? Not, well, we got together for 3 weeks in a row and then 2 months went by before we got together again. You always got content. You always have adventures to run. And believe it or not, there are way more people out there who use published adventures than who don't. I know there's this misconception out there that, well, you know, if you're an experienced game master, you don't need to buy adventures. You can do all this stuff. You know, you can do this stuff on the fly. No, experienced game masters use published material. What they don't do is they don't stick to it like glue. You know, it's not like, oh, well, you know, the designers, they kind of made a mistake in this adventure, but it's, you know, that's what they wrote. So that's what I got to do. I'm sorry, guys. No, absolutely not. So, a Grade A says, I wonder how many bookshelves you need just for Paizo physical books. Man, there's a lot. Take a look. You know what? If you go to the Paizo website, and if you go look at, I think it's like Paizo releases, and if you just click on Pathfinder, it's like hundreds. Now, I know for a fact that Paizo sells other things on their site, so it's very possible that they're also counting third-party releases as well. But you figure right now we are at Adventure Path 158 for Pathfinder comes out next month. The first part of the Agents of Edgewatch. I always want to say Edgewater. The Agents of Edgewatch Adventure Path. I think that's 158. So you figure if you've got, and I think we're 31 for Starfinder. I think 31. And that's actually, interestingly enough, that's also the beginning of a brand new campaign, although it's only 3 chapters for the Starfinder one. So you figure right there, if you had all of those, you're looking at 180 plus 64-page books, soft cover. There have been quite a few standalone adventures that have been released too. So I'm going to take a guess that I think there's probably been maybe about 15 of those. And then just think of all the hardcovers that they have released. And I think you'd need quite a few. I think you need quite a few of bookshelves out there. As far as if you just had 5th edition, you don't need that much space. You really don't. I have everything except for a handful of the adventures. For some strange reason, Wizards of the Coast and I fell out. After I moved from Arizona, that was like a huge problem. I don't know what the hell happened. Because I sent out blanket emails telling people, hey, I'm moving. Don't be sending anything. And I did that like 3 weeks before I actually moved. But my D&D stuff goes from here to here. And of course, there are books behind here. So I think I'm missing 4 of the adventure books, and I've got everything else. So if you had 5th edition, you don't even need much of a bookshelf, right? Just need part of one. So Grade A says, well, they didn't send you anything as you said ever. I'm not sure who a Grade A is talking about that I've said has never sent me anything. So Flaming Heron says, haven't played in a pre-written adventure in ages, but I've actually run a lot more than I've been involved with as a player. Yeah. A lot of times people just, from my experience, inspiration You know, a lot of times use the pre-written adventures as an inspiration for you for your own adventures. Of course, if you got something classic like, say, Masks of Nyarlathotep, you're going to run that. You might tweak some things. I know even back when I ran it in the early 80s, I tweaked a bunch of stuff. And here I was just a teenager running the game. So what can I tell you? Flaming Heron says, I've got tons of PDFs for 5th edition. Actually, a lot more than I got for any other system. And that was before the free releases. Yeah, there were quite a few free ones. But that ended last month. No more free stuff. Although I think the last week that they had the freebies, the stay-at-home, play-at-home releases on the Wizards of the Coast D&D site, they've left those up. So you can still get that last week. But everything before that, the weeks before that, the thing that went on for about 6 weeks, are gone. And it got to the point where a lot of those were like, oh, hey, it's free for the next couple of days. And you had to act quick to grab the stuff. I got all of it. I picked up all of it. All right. So that is it for tonight's show. I'm going to run upstairs and make dessert for my dad, seeing that it's his birthday, as I mentioned before. So, of course, as I like to point out, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't. And if you do subscribe, ring that notification bell. It'll tell you not only when the Daily Dope streams live right here on YouTube, it'll also let you know when I upload other videos too, such as my upcoming review for the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Game Mastery Guide. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. Those of you out there who watched live, thank you very much for keeping me company. I always like when people hang out, have a little bit of chat going on. But of course, if you did not have an opportunity to watch live, maybe you're watching on MemberX, thank you very much for taking time out to watch this goofy mug just babble on and on and on. So, of course, everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night / Wednesday morning. I will be back tomorrow. And of course, as I always like to sign out during this pandemic, please be smart and stay safe. Oh, you're still here. Well, if that's the case, by all means, subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel by clicking right here. And of course, if you want to catch up on past episodes of The Daily Dope, check out this playlist. And if you'd like to see what YouTube's recommending you take a peek at from the channel, just give a click right over here. Of course, I'm Jeff McAleer, and once again, thank you very much for watching.